Hey everyone here. Wow, awesome. Thanks so much for coming out. My name is Kyla King. I'm the channel manager for PGI. I'm out of Atlanta, Georgia. I've been with PGI for going on 14 years now. So I've been there for a little bit, and I can tell you a little bit about PGI, but what we really want to do today is kind of just give you a really quick overview. Happy to go in depth later on with you if you'd like into some of the things that we're doing, some new things that we're doing. We'll definitely talk about our platform. Our platform is called Global Meet, just so you're aware of that. We call everything Global Meet. So we are in the business going on 30 years in the collaboration business, right? So we have probably been in the channel just as long as that. Very much founded on audio conferencing. The name PGI, that should ring a bell with audio and web conferencing. We have a collaboration product that is used by 45,000 customers and 75% of the Fortune 100. So we're very psyched. We're very not new to this industry by any means. And then we are also a hosted voice provider, which we'll talk mainly about UCaaS and hosted voice today. Any questions on collaboration, please feel free to ask. And as a agent and a partner of TCG, you also all get complimentary Global Meet accounts. So we would love for you to meet with your customers on Global Meet and use it as much as you'd like to. And please come to me, hand me your business card, and we'll get you a complimentary Global Meet account. And then you can meet with your customers anytime you want to on any device without any downloads, easy to use, intuitive software, which is also obviously a big foundation of our UCaaS product. But the reason why I put this up here is not only to show off that we have tremendous, wonderful customers, but it's also important to note that obviously all of these customers use different services of ours. So some are major audio conferencing customers still. Some use our platform for real large-scale audio conferences and event conferences, major webcasting business, UC business, UCaaS business, of course, and collaboration. So that's real important. And the other outstanding fact about this slide is the tenure of our customers. When a customer comes, a PGI customer comes into our organization, they stay with us. And there's reasons for that. There's the people that we have behind the tools. Our average employee tenure is 8.5 years, and our customers stay with us for an average of 15 years. That says a lot about the service and the support that we offer. So I am going to introduce Frank Paterno, and Frank is our VP of Business Development. Frank's going to talk a little bit about why PGI, right? I mean, that is the overall question. Why? What makes us different? What makes us important? Why should you talk to us? So I'm going to hand it over to Frank, but thank you so much. We do appreciate you coming out and joining us today. Thanks.
Thank you, Kyla. Hi, everybody. So as Kyla said, we'll just take a few minutes. I'm assuming most of you all are pretty educated in the industry, so I'm not going to do a training or an education. I'll just point out some of the differences so you guys know when to think about PGI. As Kyla said, most of you and most of the industry is probably familiar with version 1 of PGI, which is the left side of this chart, the blue. So you do think of PGI when you hear audio conferencing, web conferencing. You may not think PGI when you think about UCaaS or webcasting or unified messaging and things like that. We know that. So as Kyla said, most of the branding you'll see from PGI going forward is going to be under the Global Meet brand, and that is to we've been our own worst enemy. We're really well known as audio conferencing. Global Meet takes us forward into the unified communication space. We built on the collaboration platform that we've had for our UCaaS platform. So the first thing I should say is it's not a BroadSoft platform or a Metaswitch platform. This is PGI's own technology, so it is going to be a little different than the others that you see in the industry. To sort of hit some of the differentiators pretty quickly about the Global Meet UCaaS platform, you should expect the collaboration aspect, the audio, video, web conferencing, is going to be better than most of the others because that's our background, right? So if you've got customers that are maybe still on a PBX or maybe using another UCaaS provider, and they're also using something like a WebEx or a Zoom, they're really great products. Zoom has really proven to the industry that there still is a major need for a really good collaboration product. So if you've got customers that have that use case and want to put them together in a single solution, that's when the first reason you should think about Global Meet and PGI, because they're actually able to get rid of both of those other services. With a lot of the other UCaaS solutions that are out there, the collaboration, the conferencing aspect is an afterthought. So it causes the customers to still have to go buy a separate third party. So we truly can say that, if collaboration is an important use case within the customer, usually it is, especially customers with large sales and marketing teams, the Global Meet platform is probably going to stack up pretty well. Another thing I should say is, the platform is cloud native. So we've been around 30 years. Global Meet as a brand has been around for 12 years. The platform is 3 years old. That's a perfect age. It was rebuilt. We rebuilt it in 2017. It's rebuilt in the cloud. It's cloud native. It's based on things like WebRTC, HTML5. All the codecs are high definition. Dolby is the media server inside of this. So this is a modern technology. It's able to let us move very quickly. Our capability to integrate with other platforms like Salesforce.com, Microsoft, Slack, Teams is really strong. We have a really strong integration play. It's a major differentiator. A lot of the other UCaaS providers, their platforms are getting to be about 10 or 11 years old. They're showing their age. We know what that feels like. That's us in the audio conferencing space. We do have platforms that are that old. That technology baggage weighs you down. On the UCaaS side, this is a very modern platform that I think will show its benefits to your customers as we start to talk about how to integrate it. Another thing that we did, this is an important point, you'll hear PGI say a lot of times that we are sort of obsessed with the user experience. The user interface is the simplest to use. How can I honestly say that? That's very subjective. What we did, this is sort of hard to see, but what we did when we rebuilt the platform, we also rebuilt the UI. One of the biggest complaints about a UCaaS interface is you've got a lot of features coming together and it's hard to use and complicated. And then adoption's going to be low, and then what's going to happen? Customers are going to go out, or pockets of your customers are going to go out, and they're going to go find something that works for them. What we did is we rebuilt the UI before we even wrote a line of code back in 17, and then we sent prototypes of that UI out to a user testing community, usertesting.com. You could check them out. And we asked them to do certain things. Join a meeting, make a call on the soft phone, mute your line, real common things. And we were able to judge, were they able to do it in less than 5 seconds, or then their success? Could they do it, but it took 5 to 10 seconds? Well, then we say that's friction, room for improvement. Or could they not even accomplish the task? And you see here that the older Global Meet platform, 44% success rate, 44% failure rate, we were just as bad as everybody else. But by paying attention to this and iterating that interface until it gets to where it needs to be, we're now at 95% success with 0% failure. I hate those stats because 0% failure really doesn't sound good. But our product marketing team that runs these tests assure that that's statistically correct. What we were also able to do, and you guys see this, and as we show this, we'll get into customer meetings with you. We'll show this slide. We'll sort of Greek out some of the competitors just so it's a little softer. But we took screenshots of our competitors and asked them to do the exact same thing. So we were really able to benchmark ourselves against the others. And you guys know this. I mean, when I talk about these competitors, it's not a feature battle. These Zoom has so many features. It's a really strong platform. It's a really good collaboration platform, but at the expense sometimes of complexity and user experience. Someone like me, I love that kind of platform. Your average accountant, lawyer, they might have a little trouble remembering where everything is. So that's sort of the second thing. So think about PGI when there's a real strong collaboration use case in a UCaaS environment, and then when ease of use and adoption is an important thing, and the way we think, when is it not? So we talked about the Brady Bunch. I use the exact same analogy. It's kind of funny. This is what the platform looks like. So you see over there the desktop application. There's also a mobile application. You're seeing a video conference here. The focus that we have, we don't consider the fact that we can do hunt groups and auto attendance and ringbacks and call, park, and pickup. That's not a differentiator. That's an expectation. If your customers are doing all that today on their PBX, yes, we have to make sure that we can continue that use case, but we don't talk about it too much because if we can do the same thing they're doing today on-prem in the cloud, there's really not much benefit. We're spending a lot of time thinking about how can we take advantage of this opportunity to save 3 minutes here, 5 minutes here. Where can we employ AI and data learning in the platform to do things. I'll give you guys a couple of quick examples. You start a meeting. Now, we have an Outlook integration. I talked about a Microsoft integration. So we know who you invited to the meeting, right? You invited 10 people. 8 people have showed up in that meeting, in your meeting room. This happens to us every week, right? Now you got to flip back and forth between your calendar and your whatever web conferencing tool you're using and say, who's not there, and can I start, or do I not? Oh, wait a minute, Kyla didn't accept. Shoot, I didn't know that. With the integration, Global Meet does that for you. It pops up, even if you don't ask it, if you're 2 minutes into a meeting where you've invited people and they haven't shown up, it's going to pop up for you and say, these 2 people were on the invite list, but they're not here. This one accepted, this one was tentative, and just let you, sometimes you say, okay, fine, I'm just going to go ahead with the meeting, and then it will say, do you want me to automatically record this meeting, and then after the meeting I'll send it to the absent people, or I'll send it to everybody? Easy things. This is not Earth, we're not sending people to the moon, but who remembers to send a recording out to the people afterwards, things like that. So a little quick example of a use case where we're trying to save some time. That's sort of the mentality of the Global Meet platform. You see, there's everything in one screen here, so it is sort of single pane of glass. You can't really see it really well, but there's chat, calls, which is your soft phone, meetings, which is your collaboration. So you really do get single pane of glass. The mobile app is going to look just the same. Click through here. You get a little bit of a view of the mobile application. I'm not going to go through all the features of collaboration. With 30 years in the industry, if anybody has any feature or use case that they want on audio, video, web, assume we have it. It's just where we came from. Here, I should have showed, this is the little absent guest thing that pops up, the AI that comes in and tells the user that somebody's missing from the meeting. On the PBX side, I'd say it's as good as any. It's got all the hosted PBX features. I think the UI is pretty slick as far as soft phone. Of course, we support the full line of IP phones and soft phone on the mobile app as well. What do I want to talk about here? There's an admin portal, so either you guys want to step in and do some administration on top for the customer, or they want to do it themselves. As Kyla said, we're very, very, very partner friendly. So as we put this, I actually say we're partner centric. As we put the offer together, we left places in there for you guys. So things like network assessments. Yes, we can do them and we will do them, but we expect that you will probably want to step in and do it yourself or bring in somebody. So upfront network assessments, our sales engineering and sales and channel team is prepared and expecting to work in tandem with you, with the customer. And then on the installation, so we're going to assign a project manager to every implementation that will handle putting in the orders for the porting of the numbers, creating all the shell accounts and things. We expect you might want to step in and do the on-site installation and things like that. That's just fine. If you don't, then we've got some people, we've got other partners we can bring in. So just know that we're expecting you to want to add some value adds all along the process, and we've sort of built out the offering in that way. Real quick, one thing, I think this is kind of cool, it's the second example of productivity and giving time back. There's a home screen in the app, mobile and desktop, and it's going to give you notifications like every other platform. You had a missed call, you got a meeting coming up, somebody texted you because we support SMSing, SMS texting to your UCAS number. So a lot of things the platform knows about you. We're taking an approach, though, that this could be overwhelming. So here's where some data science and AI comes in. The platform will start to learn, do you always pick up calls, or when you get a call, do you call that person back right away? Or are you like me, and I'm in meetings all day, so I probably take 7-8 hours to return a call. But man, a text message or an IM, I'm back at you in 5 minutes on. The platform's going to learn that, and then it will start to prioritize what kinds of communications to show you, what to show you first. For me, it's going to show texts and IMs. For Kyla, it might show calls. Second version of this in Q1 even gets a little smarter, and now it will know not only what kind of communication, but who's communicating with you. So if you've got a favorites list or a frequently called contact list, or just someone that calls you or texts you or messages you a lot, it's going to remember that. And then it will know, when Kyla calls me, put that up front, because that's someone I talk to a lot. But maybe when John calls me, I don't really talk to him a lot, so let's throw that at the bottom. So this is a really powerful thing. We're just at the tip of the iceberg, I think, on this. But it just, I think, gives you a bit of a flavor for how we're thinking about UCAS beyond sort of the basic features. I mentioned integrations. This is another thing that we think is pretty key. We know customers are going to Teams. We know a lot of them have adopted Slack. So when it comes to sort of the chat and IM aspect of our platform, we've got it built in, but we're expecting we'll probably integrate with something they have. So we're not too proud to say you need to do everything in the Global Meet platform, especially in the case of contacts calendar, IM and messaging, and then CRM. We have a really strong integration play, and this will just continue through next year with more and more and more vendors adding to this list. I'll end with, just sort of base how we package these things up. The customers can buy collaboration only from us. So if they want a Zoom-like product, we've got that. That's Global Meet collaboration. On the UCaaS side, they can buy the full kit and caboodle, which is collaboration and hosted PBX, or they could just buy PBX. So it's very, very simple. The pricing and the packaging doesn't get more complicated than that. We don't charge for features. It's a very simple pricing model. Typically, we can knock out a quote just by knowing how many employees are in the customer and is collaboration a use case or not. That's it. So it's a per license, per month fee. We don't charge for things like ring groups and hunt groups and special kinds of users and all. It's a very, very simple pricing model. Anybody that's looking at this, I won't go into too much detail, but when we talk about a cloud-native platform, the operational resiliency that we get is very strong. It's what you would expect from a true cloud platform. A lot of the other UCaaS providers out there are sort of quasi-cloud. So we've built this all on AWS. We are in 6 different physical locations. In each location, we're in 2 buildings. In each building, we're in 4 racks. There's failover between all of the above. Failover between the racks, between the buildings, between locations. So not to say nothing could ever happen, but I think we're built pretty strong that when your customer wants to talk about single point of failures and how do I make sure that I can trust, we've got a really strong story there as well. And that's it. So sort of to summarize, the collaboration aspect of the UCaaS offering is superior and very strong. Obviously, lower communication costs. That's generally by being able to knock out some of those other players that they might be working with today. This whole idea of productivity and giving time back, think about some of the AI examples I gave you. This is a big thing for us. It's a little bit of a different story when we talk to customers with you. It might be a little bit refreshing that we're not just going down a checklist of features. Kyla talked about customer service excellence. Everything that we do is automatically included real-time human support. So no matter where your customers are, or even people that they're inviting into meetings or trying to call, everybody has access to real-time support via phone, via chat, and via email if they just want to send in a request. The result of all that should be high user adoption. So the TCO that your CTO is looking to get actually exists, because you don't wind up getting these shadow IT groups that go out and say, I can't use that platform that we bought off on. I'm going to go get all these little solutions. So that's the goal at the end of the day. Oh, my slide went away. Anyway, I think you've got a promotion to talk about.
I do. I love to talk about money. Who doesn't like to talk about money? But just so you know, when you do business with PGI, you are paid for the total contract, and you are paid monthly recurring revenue. A UCaaS deal, it's not you're just getting paid the first year, the first quarter. You're getting paid for the life of the partnership. Okay, you own that account within PGI, so any growth associated with that deal, any kind of a joint selling that we can do, we sell them a webcast, sell them whatever it is, it's all yours. We do work a blended channel method, so you'll always have somebody that's local to you that you can work with as well, that is just as interested and paid just the same as if they're doing it on their own. So very, very energized sales force in the market, very local to you as well. And then you also have me. I'm happy to come here anytime you want me to. But just for this presentation and for you all in the room, and because we do realize it is late in December, and you may have some things going on in the next couple of weeks, and you may forget all about me. I would love to offer everyone an incentive in this room. So any deals that come in, anybody that can send me a lead within the next quarter, I would be happy to put your name in a raffle. And like I said, it looks like we may have a good chance of winning here, and making sure that you're all awarded very nicely for any leads that come in for Q1. And that's me, Kyla King, PGI. I'll make sure you all have a business card on the back too. as well as come and get your free Globe Meet account. All right. Well, thank you guys so much.